Alright guys, today we have one of my favorite suits from the IBO HG kits. And it is the mobile suit Grimgerde. And this thing is epic. It is one of the coolest designs to come out of this series. And while wasn't around for the whole series, its impact of when it was here was great to say the least. And this box art doesn't really do it justice, but it is beautiful. Get a great shot of Grimgerde here, and it's just amazing redness. Not to be confused with Amazing Red Warrior, but it is kind of an Amazing Red Warrior, let's be honest here. I tend to call this thing the Red Bunny of Death because of its great little bunny ears here. But this is a Bandai product as usual here, and we've got the IBO banner here, and we've got his pilot. I honestly forgot his name, but if you've seen the series, you know who this is. You know, if you see a masked pilot in a Gundam series, you know it's going to be somebody else throughout the series. Spoiler alert, guys. Sorry, but totally forgot his name there. We all know who that really is. I'm not going to say. But then you come down here, it says Grimgerde on the bottom. I really want to get to this review, so we're going to blow through this box really quick. So, come down here, you get the great action shot. You see it there on the base wielding its swords. It shows something here, probably about the extension ab crunching ability. Epic shot of it wielding the swords there. Come over here, you get a great shot of the face. A little bit of, you can sort of see its eye in there. It has its cool little rifle. It's an individual rifle, like none of the other ones really use it, but it's still very similar to the weapons we've already gotten. Come back here, you get a great back shot, and it shows off the rear thrusters there. We'll talk about that more. You show here with the display options, and it's showing it with a standard graze. Not exactly sure why, but it still looks really good. Come down here to the back, bottom, whatever. HG, Iron-Blooded Orphans, number 14. So I'm actually going in order, because the last one was a Gujin at number 13. Grimgerde, Bandai Hobby.net, Gundam.info. Come back here to the final side here. You got the front and rear shots of the Death Bunny. Come over here and you get the read up on this guy, because I can't remember his name. His name is not important. He flies this really awesome suit. Come here into the store. You get a new image of Barbatos looking less wrecked than he was before. That's always good. You got your warning symbols here, probably saying that nobody under 3 should play with this, or they probably shouldn't. Plastic ever here, 1,200 yen. So it is. That seems to be the price for this run of the kits. And this thing is so epic, I don't care if it only costs 12. Yeah, we got illustration by Magaki Ryota. Welcome back. You haven't been on here for a while. Of course, the background image is by Saito Yoshinobu, as usual. Even as epic as it is, it's upside down. But that's it for the box. Let's quick get to the awesomeness that is Grimgerde. Alright guys, here we have my favorite suit from all of Gundam IBO as it stands. It is the Grimgerde, the Red Bunny of Death, and this thing is so beautiful. Oh, it's so sexy. Look at this thing. It is just red and in charge. It is sleek and just looks like it is made for speed, and it is just so epic. I took my time with this kit when I built it. It's one of the first ones that I ever actually clear coated when I was done, which, you know, a lot of model builders, they'll go ahead and they'll clear coat everything. This is the first one I ever did. And I've got a lot of paint detail in this guy, which we will go into right now, and pull it off the stand so we can really get a close-up of this guy. You see with the face here, while it looks very Graze-like, well, it actually is. Let's be honest here. There's a lot of Graze aspects to this guy, even though, in fact, in the history, it does call it a Valkyrie. So it came sometime before the Grazes, but after the Gundams. So it is somewhere in between everything. You get up in here, and you can see I've added a lot of detail here. You actually got that blue sticker there is for its eye. but I've added all this dark gray around here. Now the larger 1/100 version comes with the blue visor that goes across here. I had to kind of fake it and add a little bit of blue metallic paint to that. Let's see here if I can get his head open without breaking anything. I can't remember. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember how it opens. You can sort of see in there. It's night-like face. You can see the very, very similar gray's eye in there. Come back around here to the back of the head, and you can see there's a very different here. I added these gray details everywhere because otherwise it's very, very red. And while the red is awesome, it needed to be broken up. So I added a lot of great gray detail here. Inside the collar, made that all dark. All of these details right here, all of the dots, these little bitty side panels painted gray there. Same thing right here, painted that gray, just right in a little bit there. Come around the shoulder here, also gray details there. This is actually supposed to be a sticker, painted that on because it would look epic otherwise. Right up here, you can barely see it on camera, this is the normal IBO brown gray. Added some dark gray color separation right there just for fun. Come down here, also more dark gray details, just to make that red. Actually, it's sort of, from a distance, it gives the effect that that's actually a different shape. You know, because the dark cutouts just, you know, accent that, make it stand out a little bit more. We come around here to the arms. You see I added some copper piping there along with some gold accents there just to make that really stand out. This is a very, very elegant suit, guys. So it needed the gold and the copper, and you can actually see just right up in there. It's kind of hard to get the light to it, but there's a copper detail right up there, probably the top of the hydraulics for the shoulders. Come around to the back again, and you can see here if I catch it just in the light. These thrusters, they are maneuverable. Got some copper paint right up in there. There we go, got some light on it. And then you can see under, right up there in the armpit, some more gold detail. You got the gray details all along here on the back skirt and right here. And you come down to the back of the legs. And we've got some more of that, you know, copper and gold with a little bit of gray accents just to make it pop. In fact, you can see right there, got a little bit of gold touch-up mistakes there. Actually, if you open up the knees, just for fun, painted that little bitty bit right there. Copper, and at this point the copper was not cooperating, so it's a little clumpy in some places. So, but I'm very proud of this kit and very impressed by it because this guy is ridiculous. Let's go ahead and talk articulation and movement because this guy is very articulate for what it is. You get the standard head movement, but in this case the neck can actually move. He can look down really far, but he can go back about that far. He can look up pretty good. And I love this face, how it looks like a knight's helmet. I know that's what it's supposed to be, but it looks great. You can rotate about that far, to be perfectly honest, because his great collar around his neck here really limits it, but that's okay. It looks awesome. Who needs neck swivel when you look this awesome? Come to the arms, and you can go up about this far. It's a very different type of shoulder. It's not exactly like the Greys, and it's definitely not like the Gundams because it goes up instead of forward. Now, you have a tiny bit, just ever so slightly, tiny bit of wiggle right there in that part, and come back to the arm. Of course, the shoulder armor does have a nice little pivot point there. You come in, you get the standard kind of shoulder swivel. You get the bicep. It's a bicep, guys. So you get the bicep swivel right there. It's a very different type of design, very round and curvy. And you get actually double elbows on this guy. And it can totally just really rip that up. Of course, in here, got some more paint detail, guys. And you come down here, standard wrist maneuverability. And if we're going to talk about it, this is technically articulation. These shields on the arms can rotate. They can go all the way around. I'm just not going to bother demonstrating that right now. And much like the Grazes and the Gundams, he has some ridiculous upper torso articulation. It can open up that much, guys. That is ridiculous. It can come up. That's more than a Graze. That's more than a Gundams. You can just see. I can get my finger in here. That's how much open that is. And I love these white tubes here, just for fun. And he can go crunch that much. He really gets that good ab crunch. He does not skip ab day, guys. And he gets the standard all the way around hip joint, whatever. Whatever you want to call it. Waist articulation, guys. That's what that is. Don't waste your articulation. The crotch doesn't get any articulation, but the legs can come out pretty far. These very interesting side skirts get a little bit in the way around about there, but you can come out pretty far. And you get, of course, the thigh swivel, which is really stiff on this guy. Probably because I painted it, I don't know. But the side skirt does get in the way a little bit. Actually, I worked the leg off the point there. You come down the leg. I really love this knee armor. It's very different. It's reminiscent of the Greys, but still very, very different. That's why I really like this. Come all the way down here, and probably the best knees out of the entire line. Look at that. It can just crunch that leg way up in there. That is just a beautiful double jointed knee like none of the other kits have. Like, I mean, the Gundams are very articulate, the Grazes are very articulate. This thing goes beyond that. Then you come down here to a very Graze-like foot where you've got the swivel motion here. And honestly, that's about it. It does not have the bottom ball joint that I can tell. Or if it is so stiff. Yeah, look. Like, that's a lot of effort just to get that ball joint to move. I don't want to force it because it might actually break. Then you look down here at the ankle guards. They are very, very Graze-like. See here, and I believe, I could be wrong, I believe those might be on a tiny ball joint too. I'm not going to force it. Everything's a little stiff on this guy since I clear coated it. And while we're down here, let's talk about these little bitty feet. They're similar to the Graze feet, but minus the giant heels. I like that, but it also looks like he's wearing sneakers. Like he's totally got the red motif. Then he's got some like black leggings down here. So he's got red shorts, black leggings, and then some nice high top sneakers going on, guys. I love the high top sneakers on this. And we'll talk about some of this guy's gadgets and weapons because he does have a few. You come to this really cool rifle. I'll go ahead and pull it out of his hand. You go back here. One thing is his crotch peg is very loose. Like you can just kind of, I don't know why. Maybe it's made for a different one. This is a really neat looking rifle, guys. I kind of dig this. It's similar to the Graze gun, but definitely way more Zaku. Like if you're going way back, it looks a lot like a Zaku gun. And of course it has the standard, you can hold that with both hands, you know, why would you? And this version, because being so small, the actual rifle butt does not move. The larger version does actually fold up to get out of the way, which would be great if this one could do it because it does have storage on the suit, which we'll show here in a second. The ammo clip pops off, folds over like so, just sits like that. Just like the nice little drum style ammo clip, and it can actually store back here on the butt. But like I said, with this rifle butt in the way, it does sort of get caught up. See, I think it's supposed to be stored almost vertical, and it would do if not for this. They should have included the ability to fold that away. It's not that hard of a gimmick. Maybe somebody will make a custom version of it. And like I said earlier, these rear vents thrusters, they do move. They're pretty neat. I love that. But let's get to the fun party pieces of Grimgerde, because he is a swordsman, and oh my lord, I just popped off the knee armor. It is just on there, just kind of pegged on. And go ahead and get that back on there, if you can. Can't see what I'm doing. Grimgerde, take your knee back. Do it. I love it when things fall apart on screen. There it goes. Okay, that took a second. Alright, buddy. I'm going to hold you from now on because you're being difficult. Alright, and we'll talk about these lovely weapons because he is a swordsman. Come here to these shields, which can rotate about that much. That's just great. Then, of course, you can see just a little bit of a reveal of the blade hidden back here. Now, in the larger kit and the show model, those can actually swivel out and they just fling out. I'm going to go ahead and show off the swords individually here because they are beautiful. Of course, in part, mostly to what I did to them. Not to toot my own horn, guys. Look at these things. That's beautiful. It's just nice gold blades. Now these do come cast in gold plastic, which isn't bad, but I went ahead and just gave them a quick spray down with some Tamiya gold and clear coated it and gave them just that little copper part right there in the middle. And I can't recall, but I believe I painted these two just a little bit, and they have clear coats. You can, in fact, hold them. He'll actually go ahead and take center stage here. You can hold them like so, and we can go ahead and pose this guy like he's actually going to attack slightly. It's easier to pose when I'm looking at it versus what's on the camera. And so he can actually hold his swords as such, and that is just awesome. But the more fun pose, and to also free up his hands, comes when you peg these guys in here. That would probably help if I was looking at it, right? Oh, I was right there. Just barely missed it. So he can, in fact, store them on his shields. So he can just do this number. And I love it. This guy is absolutely amazing, absolutely beautiful, and just so elegant. And like I said, my favorite kit out of all the IBO line. And it's just wonderful. I liked it so much. You can see how much detail work I added to it, how much I added to just that. And the fact I took the care to add some clear coat to it. Now, as usual, we're going to go ahead and get this guy set up on the IBO base. So we'll be right back with that. Alright guys, here we have the IBO collection out. And we're going to go ahead and get the red bunny of death in his place. I'm going to have to rotate this a little bit so I can see where he goes, because I know it goes right back here behind the Schwalbe Greys. That's not a clue, guys. That's not a clue that he goes behind the Schwalbe Greys. But he's looking down on the Schwalbe Greys for some reason. Now, it's probably not the exact pose I'm going to leave him in, but it's good enough for the time being. And we will scooch this back, and we'll come back here, and we will see this whole ridiculous display. It's getting crazier, guys. It really is. And I've still got at least 3 kits to mount to this, and it is glorious already. You got the Gujin Rebake hiding back here, all the good guys off to one side, all of the bad-ish guys to this side, because realistically, I didn't really cover it, but Grimgerde is more or less an antagonist. He helps out the good guys, but he's not necessarily a good guy. So come down here. I hope you like the Grimgerde as much as I do. Go get you one. Get the 1-100 if you can, because that is even better than this one. There's more articulate, more functionality out of the weapons, and it's bigger. I like the HG kits because I can make an awesome display like this. That is a really epic shot there. I even have to take a picture of it. Watch. You see me take a picture of it? Nope, you didn't? Okay, good. So, that's it for this review. Watch all the other IBO reviews, because we're going to have a great playlist of that, so you can see how this kit, this whole display came together. And I will catch you guys next time. Remember to like, subscribe. So, remember, keep on building, guys.